Okay. Oh dear. There you go. Hi, Doctor. Thank you very much. 2 years. 2 years of subs. I very much appreciate that. If you're not currently concentrating on a conversation on degrees. Um. All gone, buddy. All gone. No more. Later. Later. All gone. I know you can smell it, but it's not. It's not for now. It's for later. I don't know. I've often thought about going to school and seeing if I can get a piece of paper to say I know what I'm doing. But then, like, I think I've just left that a bit too late. If I was going back to school now, it would be for something completely different than what I do now. I would not go back and get a degree in software engineering. Um, I'm too opinionated on certain things to the point where I would get bored of the subject matter. And yeah, I think that would be damaging. Combination of relief and sadness when I realised I'm too old for school at 40ish. I mean, you're not too old for school. I would say going back to school for what you do as a living is probably a waste of an energy at this point. You're learning far more on your own outside of any education system. Like I said, I would consider going back to school for something else. Like if I wanted to get into electronics or I wanted to get into some other discipline, I'd definitely consider it. Um, Retrain, essentially. So yeah. Frank, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you are well. So last couple of days been busy on this app. I have got you'll notice these down the right hand side. So now it's showing the price trends in the actual screen. Over the weekend, I added to the dashboard price highlights. These are games that have significantly changed in price since their last update. So if I run another update, these will likely change. So like the Lion King, it has gone up 104% on the new price of it. So last on July 26th update, it was $100 and now it's worth $204. But worth, this is what people have paid for it. So this is the recent transactions that have gone through and kind of the average of the recent transactions that have gone through for this game. So yeah. If there's only one transaction recently for that game and it was $200, then yeah, that's what it was. But either way, I own a complete copy worth $16. So yeah. Oh, there you go. Super Mario World. Ready? That's increased 585% year on year and 400% in between. Like, so yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think I have an original Mario Brothers. I think I only have Mario Duck Hunt. Yeah, I only have Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. But that's another expensive one as well. Um, So basically what I'm doing is I'm adding the kind of analytics um, to the platform. So this is showing me, hey, the completing bots and loose prices of Battlefield 5 have increased. The same for Battlefield 1. I don't know why, because you need to play online or you need to download. So now I get why he needs to know if people are paying way too much for video games. Uh-huh. Exactly why. This is, hey, your collection has some increased value for whatever reason. Are you really attached to this game? If you're not, maybe you want to sell it. So I've added, the price charting stuff. I added my reviews, so I can add a review to a game now. And I've got more like this. This is funny. So I'm using a basic Soundex and removing words like the and stuff. And Bulls versus Blazers, Black Belt and Black Fire. I find that amusing. But like that's the same game. A newer version of the same game, or for the Genesis. But these two are completely different games. This one's about helicopter combat, and this one's about fighting. Totally not the same thing. So I've been going through and adding features here and there. I'm trying to consider what I do next. Oh, here we go. Let's look for Batman. So we get searching. I can go to Batman, link Batman for the NES. Oh, Batman the video game. There we go. That's the one. Yeah. No, that's not the one, is it? Oh, that's pretty high detail. Nice. That might be one of the good looking games. I've got it so it saves my search. Batman Arkham Asylum. Batman Arkham Asylum for the Xbox 360. Yes. Do I only have Arkham Asylum for the... I do. I have Xbox 360 version, not the PS3 version. But I have the PS3 version of Arkham City. Oh, that's going to trigger me. Arkham Knight. See, like, I need to sort this in some way by how close to the name it is. So I get the most likely search at the top. But I can also, because of the way it's working now, I can also navigate these this way and go, oh, link to IGDB. Oh, because Arkham doesn't have an H in it. What? Loki doke. Well, it does have an H in it. Loki doke. No, you're not having any food. No, you're not coming sit. No. No, you're not sitting on me. No. 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 People can't see you. I've got a black shirt on, and you're a black dog with a black background. Go lay down, bud. Good boy. He was trying to climb up on me. So it is Arkham VR. So for some reason that one won't link. Wife's gone to school. Back to school time. My daughter's a teenager whose last day today. So she'll be back to school tomorrow. I'm finding this very amusing, by the way, so I apologize if I get distracted by just going through doing this, because it's kind of fascinating to go and link it. I thought getting a dog. It's a lot of time. But like a dragon parrot Yakuza in Hawaii. That's the one. So yeah. I wouldn't swap these two for anything, but whew, they're hard work. Okay, so I need to start doing this. I've been doing this for hours. I'm basically just clicking through and linking all the games, right? That's all I'm doing there. The other feature I introduced was the ability to barcode scan. Ooh, yeah, of course. So now I can look up a game via its barcode and pull that one, which is nice. That needs fixing. That's because I've got a game with price charting, but there is no history, and it assumes there is. Yeah. So what else? So this one is something that would be good to have. It has platform, but doesn't have anything else. That's the if I do Sonic Spinball. So I have 6 copies of Sonic Spinball. All but one of them are loose. So total value $47. Publisher, Sega. So yeah, I'm open to ideas if anyone has any ideas on what they think I should add next. I'm just enjoying adding to this, right? It's kind of fascinating to go through and add this information, and also let's do this. So on the front end, I have been using purely Claude. I do not use. Oh yeah, that's cool. You know, I got added there. Shared that in Discord. That looks really good. That's ChatGPT. So I've been using Claude pretty much exclusively for the front end, and what that's allowed me to do is go faster. It's not making good code. I know it. I've seen that it's not making good code. I've seen what it is producing. I need to understand more about React so I can put in some safeguards and some standards that tidy it up. I've got some suggestions from a few people. Bulletproof React is one from Apex, where if I built the Claude file properly, I could actually get it to respect some of those settings, or at least create agents. So Apex and I were talking about potentially creating agents that are very focused on certain things, and then having those agents run. So you say, hey, at whatever agent, can you give this a check over, and it will review things for you. So I might actually look into that eventually. But for right now, I'm having fun building the app, and that's what matters the most. So, okay, so let's have a look. Let's introduce a clear button, clear icon in the search panel for games. Now, one of the things I did do, yeah, that probably needs some fixing. That was the intention of that, is so that from anywhere I can search. That's kind of funny that does that. So this is the actual collection. This is the game. The intent of that was, if it can't find the game in my local collection, it should go to like IGDB and search for the game. So maybe we do that, because that's helpful for some of these games. But let's get this clear icon. I just said let's introduce a clear icon. I didn't say button. Let's see if it understands what I mean. So as always, if you have any thoughts, questions, opinions about what I'm doing, feel free. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. It is a quite a project at this point. Yesterday, I spent time in SQL Server adding some of these views and stuff. Reading a thread about the differences between junior, mid, and senior in the background. I mean, the only measure should be your, you know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of junior, senior titles at this point. I understand that you want to acknowledge that you do have more experience, but I wouldn't even say, hi Juice, I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily output. I think a junior can be every bit as, if not more productive than a senior in terms of output. It's the focus, I think. It's the ability to understand the whys and ask the right questions, and I think that comes with experience. So yeah, I mean, there's junior developers that could code circles around me. I know that. There's super smart people out there, but have they built a system? Have they built? Have they asked the questions of the business? Have they gone through that experience? And I think that's the only difference, really. You're not paying for quality if you hire someone of 10 years experience. You're paying for the fact that they've built software and know how to ask the right questions, and that's what you should be focused on. So yeah, but the problem is we dismiss the ideas of people less senior than us oftentimes in teams. That's really harmful. We should be, yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean, they don't have valuable input, and I think that often gets dismissed because of that title. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the titles. I don't think it really should matter that all that much. Oh, it understood them. It understood the objective. um, um, Everything I'm doing with Claude, I'm letting Claude commit because Claude puts its name on it, so it's very obvious what I've done with Claude. Most of this app is Claude generated. It's a junior engineer asking the question, which is generally how it is. Well, I think the problem is that you start in this industry, you strive to be acknowledged, you strive to have your say and be able to pick what you want to do. And the only way of doing that is by becoming more senior, right? Because people give you more respect. It seems. Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know. I think it's nice when you're young, so you have a feeling of progression, something to target. Once you're senior, it's not relevant anymore. True. So you think the title really only matters to those who are trying to strive to become to progress, whereas to the seniors. Okay. All this is open source, by the way, so you are more than welcome to pick and take what you want from it. Um, did I just mess up with this one? Games, no. Feature, switch games list out. View to calculate. I probably do need to pre-calc some of this because it should be quicker, and also some caching won't go awry. Calculate the that's all I did. Rebuild. that was quite the indexing challenge. I got the delivery of the data was the actual cost in the end. It wasn't actually the speed. The speed was like 80 milliseconds to query 500 10 no to query 100,000 records, and return the data was 400 milliseconds. Becomes how do I make better arguments, better outcomes, more influence, etc. I don't know. I don't know if it always does. I think some people just love coding, and want to build more software. So, not everyone is on the path of let me get to management. I think a lot of people just enjoy building things, and those are honestly the kind of people I want to work with, day to day, because there's a passion. The number of time I have to remove the senior in my title when people introduce me, I think not being senior makes me more accessible, less scary. Yeah, I can see that. There's a authority. I'm a staff, and I think it implicitly comes with some level of, oh well, you know what you're doing. It's completely inaccurate. I actively encourage argument. Oh, not argument. Disagreement's fine. You just got to make sure you stop at the personal side of it and only focus on the solution side of it. So I always encourage people to push back, regardless of seniority. So, okay, what do we add next? I think what I'd like to add, well, there's a few things I want to do here. So this is the review score that I've given it, by the way. So I added, a review. And the way I did reviews is actually based upon my experience growing up with magazines. So a review of this, graphics, sound, gameplay, and replayability, right? That's my overall 75%, right? So a little harder to add. Like these days, I'm not going to get to play full play GoldenEye, but so it doesn't have much replayability. But back in the day, that would have been a much higher score, right? But base it on now. So what I want to do is I want to play these games. I want to be able to access these on streams and play the games and have chat be able to pick out a game I'm going to play next. Whether it's like, hey, play through a series, or hey, play through this game, try this game, right? And we kind of some games I finish, some games I'll never finish. Right? I added into the review markers completed, right? So that's actually a feature from inspired by Stoic Light. So Stoic is a developer. He doesn't do many dev streams that I've seen recently. He never calls them out or anything. He only does it for fun. But on Saturdays he streams playing through different games, either on his own or with friends. It's just a good chill place to hang out. But his game library tracking has basically a completion stats, so he knows how many games he's completed, and that's what I want to aim towards. I want to aim towards that goal. So Baton Kaitos Origins. Do you find this now? No. There's something wrong with that name. Baton. So what I'm doing is go over here. Baton. See, Baton Kaitos Origins. Baton. Oh, edit. Kaitos Origins. There we go. That finds that now. Okay. That's a good looking game. So I want to be able to play these. I want to be able to bring these up on stream and find stats and stuff. See, I did that one okay. They remastered it for the Switch. Looks very different. Recent games. Here we go. This is what I want to do. So let's say this is a list of games recently added. Like I probably should get rid of these at this point. Let's go make that change actually. So that is presentation, pages, dashboard, recent games. Games with significant price changes. What I did is I put in a button, by the way. I don't know if this will work. Let's see. Trigger pricing update. So what this should do is this will download the latest pricing file. Now, this all depends on how quick the connection is. It's only a 7 meg file, but I didn't figure out how to get rid of the 30-second automatic timeout. So this goes off and processes, but I need to fire and forget. And I didn't do that. See if this works. I think it's going to fail. Yeah. That returned an error. Yeah, timeout of 30 seconds. Does anyone know what setting I changed to disable that? Or to give that longer time? I've done it on the client, and I've set it on the server to like a minute or 2 minutes. I don't know what setting it is off the top of my head. I don't often feel the need to have web requests going long running, but that's not ultimately what I want to do. I want to have that ability to trigger it, but also it will come from a timed schedule ultimately. And what that does, show that, is it downloads a pricing file in here. It should do. Right, these are the old ones that I've run through, right? So if I drop a pricing file in here, it will start processing and actually update the pricing. I got it so it picks up the date modified, the last write date, so that as I drop these files in there, it picked up that date and processed them, which allowed me to backfill my history. I'm going to keep them there for now because as I flex this app, I'm going to have to add all that back in because what I noticed was as I was going through this that I had massive gaps in my pricing history. So that was fun. Yeah, I was saying before, github.com, DVD friends. Yeah, all this code is open source. I split client and server. That is a choice. But the basics are there. So let's close that. I was asking Claude, I was asking Copilot and Claude all sorts last night to try and get to the heart of my performance issues with the table structure, and it kept going backwards. It kept adding time. Actually, let's do this. If we do what I do, price charting update, we could use, so begin price charting update is just a method that says, okay, download the file and then move it into the directory, and then everything else will pick it up, right? So what it could do is I have a, did I put it in this slide? Oh, please tell me I put it in this slide. No, I put it in the IGB side, didn't I? Dang it. I kind of created the event bus concept. The problem is it only subscribes to that. So I have to start multiple tasks on the IGB side. So on this side, I could do something similar. Let's do... the main event service. Okay, that's in here. That's awesome. So what I can do here now, this feels janky. Is in the update, instead of doing this, not sure about this. Let's do it. How do you know if you like something if you don't try it? Pricing update requested. Okay, that's our event. It actually is empty. It's basically a signal interface at that point, but pricing update requested. Wow. Typing. You'd think I'd be better at it after all these years. And then that's going to send the command. So we're going to do this here. Sender there. Right. So this is not the best way of doing this. This is by far not the best way. Event bus. So what this will allow me to do is queue event bus dot publish new pricing update requested. Right. This will allow me to publish that event, and can it resolve? Does that not take a cancellation token? Okay. Why didn't you like that then? What? It's not that. No. Why doesn't... Can it resolve method? Candidates are... Oh, mode. Wait for none. I don't remember that being the event bus. Channel event bus. Publish. Async. What? Oh, I know why. Because the event bus it just included is actually my fast endpoints event bus, not my event bus. Damn it. So fast endpoints has mediator and event bus built into it, but I don't want to use that yet because I haven't learned how to use theirs. So using event bus, funny that it's the same signature, that's why it confused me, equals shared kernel infrastructure dot event bus dot event bus. Okay, that one will work a bit better now. I'm not asking it to be event bus dot publish async. New pricing update request. So this is a little dumb, without a doubt. It's a little dumb, but it gets me to the point of pushing that forward. Ultimately, that would be done separately. But what? Wow, my chat just logged me out. Awesome. Thanks, Restream. You best not log me out of YouTube. I'm going to be mad if you log me out of YouTube. Copy. Okay, it got lucky. Why it logged me out mid after I just refreshed it and stuff. Oh well. Okay. So with that done, we should be able to now go here, trigger this. Oh, I got totally logged out. Did I really get logged out? Settings, price charting. Oh, value cannot be null. Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. How am I going to do that? I'd have to publish who requested it and essentially log them in. So let's remove that. Remove that. Let's do this. Well, actually, let's not do that. Let's do that, but let's do user identifier. This is string user identifier. So basically what I'm doing is saying who's going to update. Now I haven't decided yet whether I would let me start again. Price charting is a paid API, right? So if I put this up on, online, and you log in, you will not have access to price charting. If you pay for price charting, you will be able to link your price charting API key and see all the pricing data the same way I do, right? That's kind of the intent. even IGDB, I really should switch out. So you have to link your Twitch account and then auth that way, so that individual requests are coming against individual API keys. Okay, so this command is now going to see string user identifier. And this is going to be command.user identifier. So if I put it up on online, this update would be for you. I think ultimately, if you have a price chart and API key, that just gives you the ability to search for stuff, and then I'd have the price chart and update in the background and show you that data because you have access to the price chart and API. So I don't want to do one update in the background of all games. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Now this needs to do user. This would be how do I get this? I do it other places. Where are you? Infrastructure, configuration, shared kernel, claims principal, get user identifier. Where do I set the service? That's the question. Is it here? How do I set this? I current user. Okay. Okay, that's it. User find first. Okay, that's the current user service. So I could inject the current user service into this. No, the domain event doesn't get it. Hey Apex, how you doing? Price charting update. My current user service. We need to pass in our string user identifier here. I'm tinkering with game stuff. It's not the most fascinating of things, right? But it's kind of keeping me sane. How about you? Sorry I missed your stream last night. Timing did not work out very well. So I apologize. I finally got the cards looking okay. They show the sprites and the animator was nice. I will try and make sure I get the next one. That's great progress. I would imagine it's kind of cool seeing it come together, right? Rewarding after all this time. Yeah. So I will demonstrate. This in a second. So this is, I think you saw me doing the price highlighting, right? The other day. That's because the system's still starting. That's fine. So we got the price highlighting. Those are the things to keep an eye on. Added into my collection, I did the ability to show the pricing changes. I added the ability to add a review, so you can now add a review to a game, and did more like this, which is actually just the name. It's just using a name match. What else did I add? Copies. So price charting now has all the differences on it. So recent and 12 months. Yeah. If it doesn't find other games that look the same, that's fine. I thought I had other Ace Combat though. Really? Oh, Air Combat. That was the original name for it. From Namco, yeah. And I figured out why Godot was crashing so much. When you do a build and it reloads the assembly, it has to reset up the type system. I was trying to run code during this, so we didn't have types, etc. causing it. Ah, there you go. Makes sense. It's perfect sense. Why is that appearing twice? Do I really have air combat in there twice? No, I have it once. We'll worry about that later. Yeah. So what I've just done now is decoupled the trigger pricing update. So this should now work. That's because by default, Claude assumes that you're going to get a JSON response with the word success in it as a response to any API request, and it drives me batty. Yeah, it did like I think that's got a wrong join somewhere. We'll have to have a look at that in a second. Yeah, it expects that, so that's why that breaks. Pricing. What that should do though is trigger an update file here eventually. Of course, I clearly put a select star. Oh, hold on, let's do this. Claude. When we trigger a pricing update, you should set 200 OK as a success result. No JSON returned. The response on success. We should say ultimately that screen shouldn't even need to exist. That's the goal. I probably need to go and find why that's not triggering the thing though. Begin price charting update. Let's get here. Yeah, it does it every single time. I really need to say, flibbity gibbiting. I really should say to it, hey, HTTP responses will use a response code. If you see a 404, it means it's not found. If you see a 200, it means it was a success. We do not return JSON content in there, but it assumes that sort of structure. I've never liked that. Well, I've done that, but I've always tried to figure out a different way of doing it. Okay, so now if we go back here, trigger pricing update. There we go. That looks healthier. Okay. Okay, F11. Does that get an API key? Yes, it does. Um, so the question is why it didn't do this. And this is doing this in the background now, so that's why. Yeah. Yeah, you won't be notified when it's complete, but thanks, Claude. Full signal out down my throat. um, ooh. What I'm trying to balance here is the what features are fun. Oh, that crashed. That's why. That threw a bloody big exception. What the hell? Does that not let me background download that? Download pricing file. That's worked every other time. So the timestamp, yeah. And then we try and write it, and then we move it to the final file so that we like kind of move it into a temp file version first. But that looks like that's not actually doing anything. Looks like it failed to even download. I hope I didn't exhaust my ability to download from this API key. Hey, it's Weathers. How are you doing? Oh no, that crashed. It will not read from that. Oh, it's just my API key's been expired. The operation didn't complete within 10 seconds. Within the allowed timeout of 10 seconds. Oh wow, okay. That's a problem. Let's do this. How do I set? Yeah, how's the new role going? You are settling in? Some unplanned construction going on in the house, so I haven't been able to stream, but glad to see you up and going. Nice, thank you. Unplanned construction, the worst kind. Yeah. You went to work for Atlassian. Watching me build a product management tool on the stream. And yeah, the reason I'm not doing any Liquid Sky right now is just because of recent health issues. I'm just taking it nice and easy, figuring out what my health situation means, what I need to be doing, if I need to be using this time to, walk and stuff, then I should be doing that instead of streaming. But so rather than stress about that, I'm trying to do something that I really do love, aside from the programming side. Yeah, but hopefully I don't. Well, as I've always said, if I do decide to give up on Liquid Sky, I open source it all immediately, which means there's a massive platform structure there. A get async request. It's timing out. 10 seconds off a 7 meg file should not be that bad. Okay. Can I configure that on that request though? Is there options on the request? completion option. That's not the same thing though. Yeah. That's the default though. Synchronized lesson, but yeah. If you ever have questions, let me know. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. What's that moved? I do this as a var r equals new client dot wait client dot send async. Does this give me more options? New HTTP request message. I could just do that for AI. Options equals. Does it? No. Doesn't have a timeout. Nope. Can I set it on an individual? For a per request, use cancellation token source for the timeout and pass its token. Oh, that's... Does that really work? I guess we know. Using var CTS equals new cancellation token source, time span from 60, CTS.token. No, I don't mean that one. Let's see. So, are you actually? I don't think I paid attention fully to your title, but are you still in DevRel? Like, or are you actually working in the product team? I suppose that last thing is more than just Jira. And apologies if that's not an appropriate question to ask on stream, by the way. Okay, so if you are new to stream, if you are just joining, I notice there are some people on YouTube today. Welcome in, firstly. I am working on my game library. Still in Deborah. Nice. I'm working on my game library app today. Basically, this application is built to help me keep track of my games collection. It will allow me to see pricing changes because I have a paid API key for price charting. And I can see changes in my games that as I add games, I can barcode scan games, and it will search for them for me. It will try and add them if I don't own them, which that one's totally wrong because that exists in the collection. If you look back here, I don't know why it decided that was an ad. I can see more like this. I can see the price chart and history of a game if it exists. That one's just a good example. And I can add a review for a game. Hey, Zons. There's There's a product they've called Forge. There's a serverless extension platform. You can build custom integrations and apps on top of the Atlassian products. So say you want to customize Jira, you can use something out for. Oh, nice. Got your message. No worries. So that should trigger the update. Oh, pants. Kind of in the same boat with my church app, but I've got a customer call even today. Hard to just pause. Yes, I have the luxury of being able to say I can pause Liquid Sky temporarily because there are no customers on Liquid Sky. So I do have that luxury, I will say. It's not the end, regardless. I'm just taking the time to heal and figure out, like, as I talk to doctors and stuff. I think I learned yesterday. I'm hoping I didn't mishear this, but basically, I think I go to visit doctors every 3 months now. So I get regular check-ins. Okay, did that download? What did I do? I'll give it a minute, right? So I'm watching paint dry. Not the most fun exercise. Let's just hit that again. Okay. It's not erroring, that's the thing. Oh, that is erroring. The operation didn't complete. Okay, so it is just erroring out. So that cancellation token source method does not work. So I don't. Is really the only way of doing this? Please tell me that's not the only way of doing that. I don't want to set. I don't want to set a default timeout of 45 seconds on the client because I make requests to get the payment, to get the pricing information. So if one of them takes ages, then I'm going to block the rest of the app. I want those things to time out. Like most of the requests on the client should time out pretty quick. It's just this one shouldn't. But yeah. If is that up and running? Yep. Okay, so let's hit that button again. Did I leave the breakpoint in there? No, I did not, because okay, we're gonna leave it there because if it succeeds, I want to see it succeed. Okay. Let's go to debug. Games API console. It's still errored. 10 seconds. Timeout set. Kicking me in the butt. Okay, so you can't do that. So let's go back to where we set it up. So the client is configured in here. No, not in here. In here. We still want that breakpoint, so don't remove that. Client dot timeout equals time span dot from minutes 1. Let's go with that. Let's see if that gives us any better time. So again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, hey, go off and fire this, put it into I've got these channels subscriptions for basically a local event bus, in memory event bus. And so when I hit that button, I say, hey, go and add that, cue that message. So now it goes and downloads in asynchronously, and that way you're not locked on here. One of two things will happen. I'll either hit a timeout or get a file, and it's a 7 meg file. My connection is more than capable of doing that in a very short amount of time. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, questions, opinions, as always, you're more than welcome to share. You know, this code is all open source. My entire game library project, including all the price charting interactions, the IGDB interactions, the caching, all that sort of stuff, is open source. So yeah, I cache all the games as I go through IGDB. So I got that working yesterday. He says, as Mongo decides to, so this list, this is like, hey, queue this list up, and now this is the actual cache. So all the IGDB information I'm not getting every single time. I'm getting it when I click on a game or when I register a game. Okay. Is that health? What is happening? It's been a minute, right? It's easily been a minute. Curious on how much it costs you to operate. I guess we'll find that out. Right now, I'm hosting it locally, but I'm looking at getting this up. So my current SQL Server database and the website on Azure cost me $16 a month at most. Obviously, I'm adding a little bit more infrastructure here, so I'll find that out soon. I'm at the point where I'm close to being able to deploy it. I just need to kind of get the front end so that, you know, if you're not registered, you can't log in. But I think it's at the point where this is far superior to my current version. It gives me everything I need, except downloading files apparently is difficult. So now we're just not going to do anything. That's in here. Price update requested. This is this. Download current pricing file. It's not even get here. But it's been a minute. I'm going to assume this is not going to be cheap. I probably estimate $20 to $30 a month. I might use Mongo Atlas. Yeah. Yes, that's the problem with these things. I could always just host it on Kubernetes, but like put it on my own local hardware. But the idea of this is so that I can log into this on a public site, and you know, as I'm out and about, if I'm looking at games, I can always log in and see if I have a game, show other people, you know, look up a game like, oh, by the way, I've got this game and I've completed it, and yeah. Oh, that crashed again. That crashed because the operation didn't complete in the allowed timeout of 30 seconds. What? Logging scope. Process cache miss. Begin process. What? Line 28. Pricing update requested. Oh, did I not call them? Did I not rename the method properly? Oh, yeah. Process pricing request. That's fine. Begin update price chart in line 21. Download pricing file 54. Yeah, so it is failing to download, but now it's giving me a 30-second timeout rather than a minute, which I've asked for. Well, let's do it this way. What is the best way to download a file without hitting a client timeout? That doesn't work. We tested that. We know that doesn't work. It ignored that. Infinite time span. So now it's saying HTTP complete headers read. So once it's read the headers, it will do everything else. Let's test it. But yeah, it's giving me suggestions it's given me before. I mean, it makes sense because I'm gonna read the file out, right? So having it as an actual stream makes sense. But if it's timing out on this piece, yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, me and clicking things. Does anyone else have the issue where they go to click something and the hand moves to the left and clicks the button opposite, button to the side? I do it all the time. Okay, so let's make that. To the point where I move icons around to the ones I'm least annoyed by. Like, you know, can you you can't put a separator in anymore, can you? Like you used to. Like, I kind of want to separate it to the left. Yes, this is all open source. This help yourself to. And client React. I'm not a big fan of monorepo, so yeah, you're more than welcome to take this and play with it if you want. Obviously, if you do download it, I would love to hear what your thoughts are, if you are interested. But no, thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate that very much. Crashed again, by the way. And it crashed with... timeout. Hold on. No, I know this one. I didn't change this, but anyway, let's go double check that I'm going to the right URL, right? Price guide, download custom with my token. Doesn't get any simpler than that. App settings, pricecharting.com, CSVs. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. Thank you very much for the look. Okay. Response headers read. Now, the way this reads is meant to just read the headers and move on, which should provide you the stream, right? Not the actual full content. So as long as you've got the headers, you're fine. But I don't think... No, I don't think I refactored this or changed this in any way. So that works. I've tested that this morning. So it's not like the client's not got the right URL. And I'm passing the API key in. We know that part. Let me just bring that up off stream and then. Ryder, I love you, but you really do not do well navigating to another screen. You have to resize it a few times. Okay. We're at this point as well where we're gonna. Where's Claude? What is the downloading a file about 7 megabytes? Even. We're asking Claude. I seem to have changed the font, and it looks comical. Okay, so Claude gives me a completely incorrect way of doing it. Best approach is to create a new HTTP client. I don't think that's been the best approach for a long time. Why React? I wanted to try and pick up something with React and see if I could understand it and how it would do with something I didn't know. It does terrible, by the way. That code is horrendous. I know it's horrendous. So Claude recommends this to start with, right? This has not been advised for a long time. But essentially the same solution. I am getting a timeout after 30 seconds. So one other option I have here, by the way, is, one I should have taken to begin with, is I should have copied and pasted the validate that I can actually download the file. Such a global punishment. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. The entire game library project, yeah, so it does download. The entire game library project is built, obviously to track the games, but also I redo this every couple of years and use different ways of doing it. The last version was Blazor, right? It's like 5 years ago. It's my, it's what I enjoy doing with it. So quick fix. There you go. So best approach. Quick fix. Extend the timeout. Can't do that. Better approach. Injects it. So it knows this. I don't know what I've done to my font, by the way. I think I've turned it into like weird mode, but yeah, the file downloads. Just for reference. So what am I missing? Okay. I don't think I'm missing any chat on YouTube. I keep checking. It looks like people are watching the stream on YouTube. I very much appreciate that. You're more than welcome to ask any questions. If you have thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, please feel free. Download, iFile download, ASIC. Retry attempts. Like, what am I missing? Okay, so let me go back over here and hit trigger. Oh, pants. Oh, that just bailed out. Now we're back to 10-second timeout, by the way. Yeah, now we're at 10-second timeout, not 30-second. We've lost our 20 seconds somewhere along the lines without changing anything else. And although I didn't get to that breakpoint. Oh, that won't work. Is this caused? Is this asynchronous as I think it is? Well, this is the background service. Yeah, this is asynchronous. Of course it is. This publishes it, and this is a background service that's running independently of it. So yes, it is asynchronous. So this will do that, which will do that. We'll do that. And the annoying thing here is I have had this working. This is that file. So I don't know why this is not working now. The reason I'm doing it in the background is the current version does it all in the same process, and what happens is it times out, and then when I thought it was retrying, it wasn't really retrying. It was actually updating a chunk of my games, but not all of the games. So I've got major gaps in some of the data. So I went back and applied up to last year as best I could, which gave me a lot more data. It gives me, I have, what is that? In the snapshot history, there's 93,000 records, I think it is. Select count star from price chart snapshot history. 97,000 records. Hey Napalm, how you doing? If you had Pokemon cards, this would be a very strong collecting app. Take the code and do what you want with it, right? You want to add Pokemon cards and whatnot. I don't collect Pokemon cards, and I'm not starting that. My wife would murder me, and definitely not comics. So yeah, right now it's built on the entire thing started as if something was to happen to me, there's enough games here that I would want my wife to understand what it is she's looking at. Oh, my daughter, who I have said if they should play the games. So why is this not working? So it's just timing out constantly. Now the price charting API is the price charting file download. They do track Pokemon cards and Magic cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. By the way, you can download that data. So I can get pricing for Pokemon cards with my API access. But it does take a second or two to start, but that shouldn't matter. So why is this timing out? Price management service application host builder extensions. Again, I don't get why. that should just fail outright. If I don't put that there, it should just fail outright. Client dot. Again, I always thought you could configure the timeout on an individual request, but it looks like you can't. Poly's built into extensions poly. I don't think poly is what I really want. I don't need retries here. I could have sworn you could set the timeout. Yeah. Ooh. Set lifetime to 5 minutes. That's not what I want though, right? No. I don't want to do jitter or back off though. So Poly doesn't give me any extensions for any sort of timing. And we know that we saw it where I tested it and did not get that. Pricing management service. Download current pricing file. Hey JD, how you doing? Welcome in. Client dot timeout equals. See, I don't think that is what I need to be doing, but hey, lots of people develop good software, regardless of regardless of language. I'm being eccentric, but sometimes I make the watershed into a Hawaiian beach and just relax. Yeah. What was yesterday? I showed up for work. Yeah, I'll do that to you. So if you're just joining, what I'm trying to do, unsuccessfully it seems, is trigger a price charting update, which now just isn't working at all, apparently. All my breakpoints aren't doing what. Goodness me. Oh dear. Okay, so the update request goes right through. Okay, we got one. Okay, we begin price time update. Okay, we're getting here now. Okay. F10. Ah! What is the point? The operation didn't complete within the allowed timeout of 10 seconds. 10 minutes. ASP Classic. No, 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 no. Blazor is ASP.NET Web Forms. ASP Classic is even older than that. ASP Classic is more PHP. Blazor is ASP.NET Web Forms reimagined. um, this is annoying me now. Like, that doesn't work. That doesn't make any difference whatsoever. I get a 10-second timeout. This did work, and I haven't changed this code. So what am I missing? Being that AI is all, yeah, just set the timeout. I'm not going to get any answers from it, am I? Eh. I think that like the client for this is React deliberately. Used Claude to build the entire thing, just to try and learn. I think it's just the different ways some of us approach things. Some things feel easier. Some things just make more sense to us, and then we can't understand why people use different tools. Whatever you're productive in, as well as some, if you've learned on the job doing some stuff, it's become second nature to you. Then it feels natural. Yeah. What do I do here now? I want to be able to have this feature working because this will allow me to update the pricing as I'm working on stuff, and see differences in data. Well, I don't like it when someone uses something I don't use. When that happens, I get angry. Yeah. Ship it. Hey, Duca. How you doing? So let's. What can you be productive in? What is why I chose to use Claude to build the React front? So the UX pilot, I used UX pilot to come up with the design, right? I tweaked and changed this around to be something I wanted it to build. So I used UX pilot to build what it is I'm trying to build. Then I pulled those images, got Claude to pull them apart and build the UI, right? And build it in React. Now the React code, again, like I said, it is not good React code. Without a doubt, it is bad React code. The React code, yeah, and I know it is a monstrosity. That is what That is what unfiltered Claude will do for you, right? So if I was a React person trying to get productivity with that, then I could tune the file and make sure it's following some standards. But that is what React looks like if you are just someone who doesn't understand React and ask Claude to fill it in. It double requests everything. It refires hooks all over the place. So yeah, and it still works as well as it does. So it's kind of a proof of the point, right? It's not good, but it works and it looks like it's doing the job, and that's what we have to worry about. Yeah. It's nice now that the new version of Node can run TypeScript without transpiling. I did not know this. I can't even pass a basic PR submit this much code. Yeah, so this is a warning tale, I suppose. And I know it's bad. I knew it was bad. Stoney looked at it the other day, And he's like, "Oh my goodness me, this is terrible." Um, but honestly, this is what a bunch of code bases are going to look like anyway, as people have learned and done things that um, it does look like someone has, yeah. You can whisper me the link. You don't have by default link ability. You can whisper me the link. I'll put it in chat. Um, um, yeah. So there you go. Thank you. Uh, yeah. So if you have a code base, built by people who are trying to learn as they go, there's oftentimes, this is essentially I'm building a legacy code base from scratch to work with, right? So one of the things that I really would like to do is go through this and understand more about how React works, and try and tune that. Um, Later. But my goal was on productivity, and that's what this achieved for me, until I hit timeouts on .NET side. Um, this is ignoring the timeout set. It still fails with a timeout of 10 seconds exceeded. Any clues? Okay, let's go to ChatGPT. Hey Mars, good morning. How you doing? Nope, nope, that doesn't work. I'm not setting infinite time span. Stop telling me to set infinite time span. Configuring Kestrel. I'm not doing. Is that Claude is actually telling me at this point to get rid of the HTTP client factory and replace it with an HTTP client, which is just that's yeah. That's just not going to happen. Ah, hold on. I don't have that, but that would make sense. Yeah, I tried that, and that doesn't work. Oh, and that doesn't work either. Awesome. Default policy. New request timeout policy. Timeout equals time span dot from minutes 3. It's well, it's now trying to give me as a debugging step to put HTTP client in there. But that's not a debugging step, because if that worked or that did what I wanted to do, that's the sort of thing that someone who doesn't know what HTTP client factory is going to leave in the code. And it's not an answer in my mind. Oh, some services are not able to be constructed. Why did that change my ability to configure another service? Morning, Mr. Ranholm, by the way. Hope you are well. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like if you're enjoying what you're watching. There are a few people on YouTube today. The likes do help the channel with discovery and helps it build. So guess who's back? Hey there, welcome back. How was the meeting? Good, I hope. As well as the summer flu. Oh. Fair point. So introducing that timeout, request timeout change broke dependency injection for the user service. I don't understand that. Man. Okay, so for those experienced .NET developers in the room, how do you set a timeout on an HTTP request? Needs to do singing on his stream. Nope. Nope. You think? Well, you don't ever create a HTTP client these days, right? Inline. Use the factory, which I'm doing. I'm being a good .NET developer. I'm using the HTTP client factory. Use raw HTTP method request. So you can't set the timeout gets ignored in this, or something else is happening because this times out after 10 seconds. Even if I set client.timeout equals infinite above, which it keeps telling me to do. So what would you change here to get the timeout? I've tested the API call independently, and I can download the file. I downloaded the file just fine, so it's not like I'm being rate limited or blocked by anything. Yeah. So let's comment that out. So var request equals new HTTP request. HTTP request message, right? Really, that's what you think it's going to be? Okay. Price guide. Download custom equals. And just for reference, I have done this before. This file is created using this method, so it's not like this is a first time use. Var response equals await client.send async request. All right. Apex, take care. Have a great day. Thank you very much for coming by. I want to debug to see where the timeout is getting set. But you can't set the timeout on the request. Where do you set the timeout on a request? Not on here. Nope. I'll be around tomorrow for streaming. Nice. I should be around tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to join. Haven't followed Apex yet. Apex is making great progress in his game. I recommend checking out his stream. Yeah. I'm missing something. Without a doubt, I'm missing something. But I don't know what. Oh, good, JD. It's pretty much what I am. Um, yeah. So you can't set. You can only set client timeout. Um, client dot timeout equals times span dot infinite. Is it not infinite? What does it suggest? Request properties. Do you know what the HTTP message on the timeout? No. Well, the default's 10 seconds. Can't change the time. Yeah. So okay. But where do you configure the timeout? So the thing I just changed before was trying to set the request timeout options. Yeah, you can't do that. So the client is configured in here. Not in here, in here. Right. So I have options to change things, but you can, even if I set the timeout in here, it doesn't take. Right, we tried that. And it, well, watch. I'll run it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You're there. You're there. You're there. You're there. So I'm putting the button in the UI right this second, so that ultimately I can put this on a schedule and fire this off. Right. Basically, make it a. Ultimately, I'd love to make. Well, I do have a version of this where this is a Azure function that is scheduled and fires every week, and then downloads the file and pushes all the messages out into a service bus or into a queue. Yeah. So you go here, you click here. Right. So we get to our begin. We get to our begin here. Get to our client. So client timeout is 1 minute. Watch this work now. And it have me flip a table. No. So it's ignoring it. So watch. The operation didn't complete within the allowed timeout of 10 seconds. I'm not missing any headers. I'm not missing any. I can go to the website, copy the URL, and paste the URL, and it will download the file. So I'm not missing headers. Poly timeout rejected. So is Poly adding another layer on this? Why is I'm not using Poly for this? I've not set Poly. Why would that? Remove the cancellation token. Oh, so you think Poly's intercepting it and putting. But that request is coming from me. Okay, let's do that. Let's remove the cancellation token. No, not get products. Remove the cancellation token. That will be why it changed from 30 to 10 again. This was this was a suggestion from the AI to put and it makes sense because if I read the headers, then read the content, then I'm good. But still, the header should come back well within 10 seconds. I don't get it. Now we're just going to ignore me. Now we're just not going to bother with breakpoints. That makes sense on the headers thing, though. Okay, that still works. I didn't remember if that worked or not. So hold on. Let's do that. So Twitch decided that, I assume that was thanks for asking. You just shortened the thanks. It just was like, no, you're clearly saying bad things. Let's start it out. Independent contributor. Or individual contributor. Sorry, not independent. Somewhat independent. Oh, come on, debugging. Okay. No more people managing with me at the moment, though Twitch is funny. Yeah. Now we're just not even getting to the request. This is just... Oh. No. Why are you not debugging? Okay, I'm going to refresh. Reload. Make sure everything's good. And nothing. Create content and talk to humans instead of making sure humans are creating content and talking to humans. You know, I was making perfectly good progress on this project until I started streaming it today. Everything's been going fine. I've been adding features in. I've been happy. It's looking good. I've got my collection working. I can see the pricing deltas. I can see the most expensive games. I was really happy. And now I'm paused on downloading a file, which is pretty much programming 101. Like, I can't even download a file. I'm not an amateur. Yeah. Let's see if this works. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, this is the game library app. This is what I've been working on. What I'm doing is gradually going through and linking. So you see where it says IGDB. I'm clicking on a game, going in, linking to IGDB, finding the game that matches that, linking that game, and now I've got all the artwork and it looks better. I have one copy of Bayonetta 2, Beyond the Steel Sky, link to that one, Beyond the Steel Sky. I don't care about what edition I have because the editions are stored at this level. So I have the Steelbook edition. It's worth a whopping $18. Beyond Good and Evil. Right. So I can link to that. Bayonetta 2, Beyond Good and Evil, Beyond Good and Evil exports. So I'm able to link the games, and that's cool. So that was all working fine. And then we did this. Oh, okay. Client, timeout a minute. Nope. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I know. Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't all of it. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to say very odd. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. So, unfortunately, that is going to be the end of the stream. I should be back tomorrow. I'm not I'm trying to keep a schedule, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm motivated to do the streams right this second. The other week did really take it out of me to the point where I'm like, I'm trying. We'll see what the schedule settles in on us as. I'm going to continue doing this sort of stuff for a little while just to try and keep it fun, and make sure things are. Thanks, Napalm. It's Mr. Weathers. So anyway, let's go Bug maybe for a while. He's probably going to finish in a little while, but he can't raid me if I raid him first. So thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for the help. Thank you very much for just being here and generally supporting. I do very much appreciate it. I will try and look into poly resilience event. Okay, so I'm gonna go look into poly after work and see how things go from there. So take care. Don't forget there is a Discord attached if you want to join and hang out and chat. I do hang out in there in the evenings and chat sometimes. So I'll catch you next time. Thank you. Take care all. Bye. I need buttons. I need my buttons back. I need to get my Stream Deck set aside again. See you later.